welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is Count Out. This is our series where we do our top 10 favourite, worst, whatever it is, and it is our personal opinion. We are sick of YouTubers telling you what the best, worst is, and they're forcing you to say this is the top 10, which has led to people to believe that those are the things at all times.
Yes.
When wrestling should be personal. You definitely should have your own views, and that's what this series is about. Our own views. No one swaying you. No one going, well, you're wrong, because in reality, this is what it is, unless you think Logan Paul is one of the best United States champions of all time. This week, joining me with Baby Sam here, we are going to do our top 5 favourite and worst traditional Survivor Series matches. We've already had some yays and nays in the future about Survivor Series. Something's on the lockbox, blah, blah, blah. We've done a few of those videos. Some of them might have already come out already. But today we're going to look at the best and the worst of traditional Survivor Series. You told me that you really struggled with the worst because all much and muchness.
It's literally, all of them are so unmemorable and unnoteworthy, and I'm apathetic towards all of them. I've found some that I just think are absolutely diabolical that I do have a memory of. So there'll be some that I assume you have that are objectively, even though, to go against what you said, worse than mine, but I don't remember them.
I'm convinced that me and you might have 2 in worst crossovers. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe even that. I think our bests, I'm intrigued to see if we don't have the same 5. They'll be in a different order, but I'm intrigued. But before we get into our favourite, we're going to do our favourite 5 best or favourite traditional Survivor Series matches. We want to know what yours are. Put in the comments what is your worst and favourite traditional Survivor Series match, because we miss the match type when done properly and we'd like to see it back. But before we get into that, please don't forget to like, share, and with the hand, Sam, subscribe to the channel, and let's find out who our top 5 is. Sam, would you like to kick off? What is your 5 favourite Survivor Series match?
This will be on your list. I think it'll be higher on your list. I wasn't around for it, but I have seen it. I researched it as a child and was quite obsessed with it and did enjoy it. It's the WWF versus the Alliance.
Righty-ho, yes.
It's a belter. And it's not only star-studded. I mean, not star-studded with any, WCW talent.
I mean, if you look at the stars in it, it's Rock, Jericho, Big Show, Undertaker, Kane versus Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, Booker T, RVD, and for reasons, Shane.
Yeah, is in there. But it's marvellous. It's really exciting. The promo before it, can we just say, the video package is fantastic.
And the SmackDown prior as well.
Oh, fantastic. And in kayfabe terms, it is the biggest match in wrestling history. In kayfabe terms, it absolutely is.
WWE could have gone out of business.
Exactly. Yeah. It was that close.
It was that close.
Kurt Angle.
Thank God Kurt Angle was a spy.
Exactly.
Thank God he double-crossed for no reason.
No reason at all. And that was then a heel move.
It was a heel move that he's played the company because Stone Cold turned face even though he was the Alliance member. It was literally...
messy.
There's never been a bigger reset in wrestling history, and I include WCW literally just resetting the whole company than this, because literally they went... Everything you just remembered, not that anymore. No. Stone Cold's a face now. And then literally everyone just went, okay.
Yeah,
it really was. Everyone was like, yeah, great.
Yeah, and I you know what? I've done the same thing. It's still marvellous. It's awesome. And I actually kind of like the match itself.
The match is great.
Yeah, I think it's really well done. I think it's cool. And I like the concept of this is really high stakes, company versus company. Let's do it. Perfect.
My number 5, and it will surprise you, is actually a Raw versus SmackDown match.
No.
In fact, I have actually said that incorrectly. Because it's Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. This triple threat Survivor Series match has no right to work.
No.
I hate the Raw versus SmackDown matches, as you know, and one of them is definitely on my worst list. I'll let you that know already. However, this one was the best because they actually made NXT look like something. And I think they won the night as well. Why they didn't have them winning this match, because Keith Lee looked like a megastar. If he'd have pinned Roman, you literally had made a main eventer. Not just a new star, you'd made a main eventer in one go, because Keith Lee looked brilliant. Roman looked great in this match. The SmackDown team, if I recall, was mental, though. Shorty G, there was a Baron Corbin.
Corbin was in there, and he got quite far in the match.
Corbin got very far.
Was Braun there?
Braun's always involved in those matches. Yeah, I think, is that the one where James O would hold on to his leg? Is it that one? Or was that the year before?
This is
yeah, you see what I mean?
I think.
But anyway, this NXT one, just because of they built it so wonderfully well. And they had a practice with the women's match, to be fair, had a go at it, and that was just as good. This match was great. I was not expecting it to be so entertaining. And I wasn't expecting it to be on my list, but do you know what, Sam? I thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it.
This got quite close for me. Actually, this was actually right up there. I forgot, actually, I did have an honourable mention for this top 5. Kofi versus Orton, that one.
Well, the match is completely pointless.
Yes.
Has there ever been a match be so boring, but have an amazing 6 seconds?
And that's 6 seconds, Sam.
It's
Blimey.
my sex life in one go there. Literally. boring, great 6 seconds.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. Number 4, Sam. What have you got number 4?
I've gone with SmackDown versus Raw 2005.
The Batista and all that jazz one. This match is really good.
This is near and dear to me. When I was getting into wrestling at the start, I was very into the whole SmackDown versus Raw, red team versus blue team type thing. It really appealed to me as a kid, and I went back and watched all of this, like the big parking lot brawl they had. I was really into this idea that it's basically 2 companies in a company coming against each other like a football game. There's big rivalry and stuff. I was so into it. I was really massively Team Raw because I liked Red and I also liked Shawn Michaels.
I was always a Raw fan.
Yeah, always Raw. But what not to say about this match? Shawn is impeccable again.
Yeah.
And you have Randy being the sole survivor.
JBL went too far. JBL got too far.
Yeah,
he was literally the second to last person and was involved in the finish.
No,
screw you, JBL. There's a few things I like to talk about this match. It's not on my list. I do like it though. It's probably on my short list. First of all, the reason it's probably not on my list is because it's in a cloud of Eddie Guerrero. Because they literally, let's just take Eddie Guerrero's death out for a second. It completely ruined the build because they had to then rush the build. The build's actually very good because Raw Invade, which has not happened, and Kane and Big Show kept taking out Batista, which was great because Batista was already injured. He was meant to lose the world title and probably not be in this match. Probably Eddie Guerrero was meant to be in this match because Randy came in on the blind side.
I swear Eddie qualified for it.
No, he did.
Last match.
No, he did. My point is, I expect Eddie to go into this match as world champion.
Right.
Batista to be taken out, and that's how Randy Orton got put in because Randy wasn't in the match. Randy replaced Eddie, but I think Randy was going to replace Batista. I think that was going to be the main plan. And then Randy survive again because they were going to have The Undertaker. So I think Randy was always going to be there at the end. I think that was always the plan. Raw, for some reason, had Carlito and Chris Masters.
As you do. Those two being pushed.
And then they outlasted Kane and Big Show. One of my favourite moments in this match, though, and you wouldn't think it's my favourite moments, is Lashley's elimination. So Lashley, who's been in the company for 2 months, he's had 1 pay-per-view match at this point against Simon Dean, so he's a nobody, but he's been getting big pots. And they put him in this match. Great idea. So he gets 2 minutes. He goes on, he destroys everyone for 2 minutes. And he's walking around with someone on his back. Carlito or Masters or whatever. And literally Kane just stares at him. He's on the ring apron in the tag position and just goes... And just choke slams him while he's on the apron. And that's what ends Lashley's. It's really funny. It doesn't work. It's just like Kane just goes... just choke slams him while he's on the apron. And I've never seen someone do that while on the tag ropes.
Imagine doing that, like you're playing as Lashley in a game and you're literally got Carlito. Suddenly Kane, the AI computer that isn't even legal in the match, so suddenly just go bang, bang, choke slam, you're done. I kind of like it though.
My number 4 is Team Angle versus Team Brock from Survivor Series 2003. I love the build to this, the idea that Angle and Brock are finding partners. I love this because it's the most unique way I've seen people find partners because Brock had Paul Heyman do it. And Paul Heyman said, hey, Brock, so we've got Big Show. Me and you, we were Big Show, and Big Show's already been kind of... And I've got, how about these 2 blokes? And bring out a Matt Morgan who no one ever seen before, and a Nathan Jones who had been on often developmental for a while after returning from 19. I was like, here's your big dudes. And then they went, we want you, John Cena. And Cena went... like that, turning him babyface, gets attacked by A-Train. So suddenly there is 1,000 half a ton of people on the other team, and then you got Angle who could only at the point get Benoit. And then they did this joke, they're going, you've only got 2 members. Like, who are you gonna? You're going, oh, I'm picking them 2. And they pan the camera to 2 work people who are like that, just they're like, those guys are, no, not them 2. And then the APA walk in. Then they took out Farouk. So Farouk got injured, so Bradshaw gets to hang in there. It's like, not JBL yet. And they literally go, oh, but I've got Hardcore Holly. And that made Holly look like a star. Main event, Hardcore Holly. Because Brock had broken his neck and suddenly he was like, Hardcore Holly's coming back. And that was actually really well done. And then obviously they got Cena. They didn't trust Cena. The match itself is beautifully paced. because they get eliminations beat. Hardcore gets disqualified. Genius idea, gets Hardcore. J-Bell does the clotheslines of hell, eliminates A-Train, immediately it's the first move in the match. And then Big Show just chokes on Bradshaw. You've lost 3 in like 45 seconds. It's incredible. Then they do their lull, they work the match.
How did Hardcore get disqualified?
He pushed the referee over.
Why did he do that?
He was beating up Brock so much, and it was like the match literally. So Brock does his entrance, he jumps onto the ring, ropes the things up, and Holly just beelines at him, takes him off the ring, and then just starts beating ropes. So the ring hasn't even started, the match hasn't started. Bell's not wrong. He's beating him up, and the referee's like, no, come beat him up, no, and he just he goes flying, and they disqualify Holly from that way. Really works, protects Holly for this push, and he looks like a madman because he destroyed Brock in this. So then they have the lull, and then they tag Angle in. Angle goes mental. He eliminates Matt Morgan. He eliminates Nathan Jones, destroys his lads, and then Brock just F5s and pins him. And he's like, suddenly it's 2-on-2, Brock and Big Show, Benoit and Cena. And you think, this is really good. So we're going to go to Brock at the end here, whatever. And then Benoit just taps out Brock. So he wasn't last out. And you're like, and then that started a "you tapped out" chant, which is led to the thing that. And then Cena does his first ever FU on the Big Show. Puts over Benoit, who goes to the main event of WrestleMania, so that showed the seed there. Puts over Cena as your brand new star. It is one of the greatest ways to build new stars, to solidify new main eventers, to finish off a story in Brock and Kurt Angle, to start a new one with Brock and Hardcore Holly, put a mid-card into the main event scene, keep Big Show strong because he looked like a beast all the way to the end, and brought in these 2 new guys and they got to work with them. It's literally a perfect way of doing a pointless Survivor Series match.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Agreed.
It was excellent.
Yeah, it's everything.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Go and watch it. It's brilliant. Sammy number 3, bronze.
Now, again, this wasn't one that I was around for, but I have watched it with you. You know which one this is.
I assume we've got an Eric Bischoff and a Stone Cold coming up here.
2003, absolutely. It's a really cool match. It's all about Shawn Michaels.
Oh, he's wonderful.
It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? So is it Jericho is one of the going in?
So it is Jericho, Scott Steiner, Mark Henry, Randy Orton and Christian versus Shawn Michaels, Booker T, the Dudleys, and RVD.
And a great lineup.
I mean, it's a great 10.
Yeah.
It's a great 10.
Fantastic 10. And they absolutely do it justice. It's a really good match. But again, you've got the stakes. You don't know who's going to win.
You really don't, because you didn't know if they were going to have Stone Cold come back and be the old Stone Cold and do that sort of thing, or him just leaving. They retcon it anyway. But it's a really good thing going in.
Yeah.
And you don't know who's going to win.
No, it's really good drama, and it's always best when you don't know who's going to necessarily win. And yeah, just Shawn, man.
Shawn is brilliant. Shawn is exceptional.
Shawn freaking Michaels, man. The selling, the art of it, the fact that he goes against all odds, and the heels do their bit in wearing him down as well. And
Jericho's immaculate in this match, which is very confusing for Jericho because he's a really dastardly heel because he hates Stone Cold, but he's actually on a face turn. Because they're doing the whole Trish and Lita stuff at the same time with Christian. Yeah. So it's a really confusing time for Jericho because he's like, in ring, you're a bastard, but out ring, he's kind of flirting with Trish. So it's very like... It's very confusing. My number 3, Sam, is the 2001 Winner Takes All match. That's where I've got it. This was arguably my first ever pay-per-view. No Mercy I did watch, but I have zero memory of it. Apart from, I think the Kane, Test, Booker T, and Undertaker all had singles matches. This match is beautifully paced. Everyone gets a time to shine. Shane looks like a chicken shit. He's great. Big Show looks strong, but gets eliminated first because RVD does the frog splash with everybody else. Unbelievably, Undertaker and Kane get comfortably eliminated. Kane goes out like a little bitch at this match, really. They get rid of all the people. We've got Jericho and The Rock. Jericho turns on The Rock to keep him heel because that's the problem when you did WWF versus Alliance. You couldn't keep anyone heel or babyface. Angle's turn was a bit weird, but this match had such high stakes. And the reason it's so high for me, Sam, is because obviously I get to watch. But because I was 10 years old, kayfabe was a thing. And I was like, I don't want the WWF to die. I like the WWF because they're the good people. Yeah. So I was genuinely really worried that we're going to have... though. How great's that? That's there's a moment when you're a wrestling fan like Santa that you can't replicate that. Okay. And at that point, I was like, I can't deal with it. I was so happy that WWF won because I'd only known Alliance and WWF. I'd only known that. So when that finished, that was like a shock to the system. Yeah. And suddenly we weren't doing this. It was crazy. Great match.
You must have been so scared when Jericho turned on The Rock.
I couldn't believe I'm so angry, Sam. Sam, what you don't realise is videos back then could only record for 3 hours, and this pay-per-view was 3 hours and 15 minutes.
You were telling me it cut off. How did you watch the ending?
when you watch Raw.
Seriously?
I found that via
You
Raw.
didn't know? So where did it end? Do you remember where it ended? Was it Jericho turned on him?
Jericho turned on Rock, I think is where it cut off.
Oh my word.
Oh my God, Sam. I didn't know what to think because it cut off.
Oh,
And videos literally then, they didn't like slow it down, they just went
That's
like
it.
that. So I literally didn't know, and I had to wait for the video package. And I remember the video package because it's backstage, and Big Show's got his shirt all the way down. It's like, "Ah!" He's got someone in his arms, we won! And you got Steph going, "Ah!" Like that horrible face she can do. Pretty gorgeous woman, but when she puts ugly on, she nails it.
Oh.
Sammy, number 2, you runner up.
My number 2 is one that won't be on your list. SmackDown vs. Raw 2016.
Is this Roman spearing Shane?
Yes.
That match.
I love this match.
Don't worry, kids. He's fine. How the fuck do you know, Randy?
Yeah,
you know?
You've seen Shane getting up
He
concussions.
looked like a mess.
Yeah, doesn't see it, kids. He's fine.
This is Bray and Randy, isn't it?
This 2016 was such a wonderful year for WWE.
This is the first Raw versus SmackDown.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yes.
So we've just done a really big brand split.
Just on the brand
Made a
split, so
big deal
now
of it.
it actually mattered who they were with.
Yes, they weren't crossing over the shows. Again, it'd been like maybe 4 or 5 months, so we could have left it a few more years.
But there was still brand connection
rules.
because now they hadn't done brands for years, so now it actually mattered who was who.
Yes, absolutely. They made a massive deal of it, and I was really into, especially what was going on SmackDown.
How old are you here? You're
16.
16.
And I really loved Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho at the time. I literally met a friend from college who was really into
is that
it.
from their funny promo that they did?
Yeah.
We're the best friends. You're not like us at all.
It's so good.
Kevin Owens and Jericho is genuinely one of the best things in wrestling history. They were immaculate.
Absolutely fantastic.
They nailed
And then
everything.
You have all the amazing SmackDown stuff going on. Styles and Cena and Ambrose and the Wyatt family all joining them. That was a really interesting, slow build.
It was such the big teams for both. That was Ellsworth eliminating.
Yeah. Then you have Braun coming up as well.
And he looked great.
Which is really exciting. I loved this match.
It's a really good match.
And I was really invested in it, and I didn't mind who won. I was just more invested in each character and what it meant for them. I wish there was some stakes behind it, but it's 2016 at the end of the day.
SmackDown vs. Raw never had stakes.
Exactly. So you have, how does it go again? If Braun gets disqualified or counted out, but he looks really strong because he beats the hell out of Ellsworth. Then Ambrose and Styles are like quarrelling, so Ambrose gets eliminated from that because it protects them both.
Yeah, it did.
And then I believe Owens gets disqualified somehow.
I think so.
But he still looks good.
Well, the final is Roman
against
the Wyatts.
Randy and
made
Bray.
them look so strong as well.
Because you didn't think it'd be Bray and Randy that would be the two
No.
left. You thought they might go out a bit earlier.
You also thought the turn might happen there as well with Randy on Bray. That was a theory of a lot of people.
It was really, really well done. And you had Roman going for the spear on Bray, and I think Randy intercepts it with an RKO. It kind of mirrored what happened as the final 3 in the Rumble, which I actually liked.
I was about to say, they literally did the same spot, but slightly different.
Yeah.
In that one. This was my number 6, Sam.
I get it.
When originally we wrote this down, I wrote this down as 10 and then went, needs to be 5. And it was my number 6. Because Sam, this is one, I think this is better than 05. Yeah. And this is why it's higher on this, because it actually was SmackDown vs. Raw done properly, because the brand had just happened. My number 2, I'm pretty certain is all going to be number 1. So would you like me to add that to my number 2 so you can talk about it with your number 1?
Go on.
Here's my number 2. Number 1, Sam, is John Cena, Team Cena versus The Authority, is my number 2, which I'm pretty certain is going to be your number 1.
It certainly is.
It's your match, because you hadn't had one. Like, literally, all the ones that I've got on my list are really good are from 2002, 2001, 2003, all those sort of years. This was the one that actually was like, we hadn't had a good one that had stakes. I think at this point, since 04, if you want to throw Raw vs. SmackDown 05, we hadn't had one since 05, where it actually mattered. And it'd been 9 years since one had mattered.
And you've put the 03 at number 1, I think.
My 2003 is Austin versus Bischoff, so we'll talk about them all as a collective.
And I get it, because you've got a big personal connection to that. I was really proud of
I still think it's better.
I genuinely think this one's better.
This is a better... I think this is a better story. I think the 03 one is a better match. So it's all weirdly what you want to. You know, more story. Yeah. But the Shawn Michaels, let me do this one because we've already talked about it, and then we'll talk about it after. The Shawn Michaels performance is still to this day one of the greatest, if not the greatest performance I've ever seen. And again, I was quite young, which does help. But the performance of the idea was, like, the crowd went quiet. Because they went, oh, they are really losing. And Shawn was on the outside bleeding already. So literally, it looked hopeless. They were 3-1. They got rid of big hitters like Armady and Booker T. Went no. They were just really got rid of very quickly. It was actually the Dudleys who were with Shawn, and then they just went really quickly. I remember Bubba yelling at Devon, "Kick out! Kick out!" No. And then Bubba lost like a bitch. But then Shawn first of all, Shawn got in the ring, you think Shawn goes really quickly. But he doesn't. He takes ages with these three. And the suddenness that he pinned Christian, that super kick out of nowhere, and then just collapsed on him. Shawn Michaels' performance here is immaculate. Then obviously you got Jericho. Then hits hits John with a chair to really hammer home. Randy Orton. Why have they brought Randy Orton in? Because Randy had just beaten Shawn on the last pay-per-view. Right. So Stone Cold had gone, I need you. I need you. And Shawn went, my answer is yes. And then the next week, Stone Cold's in the ring, and he goes, here's my number 5, and it's Randy. And Stone Cold's like, and he sells it really well of, I've just picked Shawn Michaels, and you pick the person who's just beaten Shawn Michaels. It's all beautiful. Then it puts Batista over strong. Everyone forgets it, but Batista over strong stops it. Shawn Michaels' moment of saying sorry, so actually does the performance and loses. That's the key to me. Randy Orton gets his win. Again, looks really strong. This match is immaculate. However, that 2014 match, there's just story on story on story. It's the perfect build of a storyline match throughout. I love the beginning of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Mark Henry. Really, I'm just running, Big Show. Bonk. Just goes down.
Like just Russo's face. It's just so funny.
What are you doing?
Oh, really
I love it, Sam. It's got everything you could possibly want. It's got surprises. It's got a screw finish almost, and then you've got
the best heel turn for Big Show ever. An actual
We've
good
got to have
one.
a Big Show heel turn,
but it's
there?
An actual good one.
Absolutely
Cena loses. He's not the last one.
It's not Super Cena.
It's not.
You take this match and you put verbatim everything that happens, but it's Cena over Ziggler.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good a match.
No, isn't it?
No. But because we know that Cena's going to overcome those. But Ziggler, we're really behind him because we really want him to do it and prove himself. And he's great in the spot as that kind of Shawn Michaels.
Well, look at the last 3. It's also Harper, Rollins versus Ziggler. Like 3 people who are not main eventers at that point.
But I love
and it's wonderfully done. I only have one criticism. You know what my one criticism is Ziggler doesn't actually win the match. He's literally unconscious, and then celebrates it like.
But we can say he got the visual pin. So
yeah. But wouldn't it have been better if Sting had come in, took out Triple H, and then Ziggler slowly rose, Seth Rollins slowly rose, super kick, and then Ziggler gets it. I think that would have been the thing that just missed out. That's the only change I'd have is Ziggler actually getting the win.
Agreed.
But also you get a Sting debut, which we were not expecting. I predicted it sadly because I like to ruin wrestling for myself and go, well, I think it's going to be Sting. It was Sting. And it literally was beautifully done with the Sting one. And oh my God, this match is so good. I think both of these matches tell the perfect example of how you do a Survivor Series match. This is your template. This is your template. And both of them had stakes. But people were getting fired, weirdly, is the stakes. And they're excellent. And this is how you do Survivor Series. Now let's go into how you don't do Survivor Series.
Oh no, do we have to do this bit?
We'll do it quickly.
Please.
Sam, your 5th worst Survivor Series match.
We've got some lockdown tax. We have.
Oh God.
We have Raw vs SmackDown 2020. Here's the teams. It's Sheamus, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, and AJ Styles. On paper, it's quite good. Then you've got SmackDown team of Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin, and Otis is here. It's
Sam. I'm not watching at this point.
No,
so I have no.
neither.
I can't tell you what's happening. In
All
this match.
I can say to you, Sam, is it is really rubbishly done. You have a weird Seth turn. He's being like, "Oh, I'm the architect. I'm betraying everyone." But this is like the end of all of the SmackDown versus Raw, and I think this is the last big 5-on-5 they did. And by this point, they've driven it into the ground.
Yeah.
So much, and you've got people who have no real affiliation. You've got Styles on Raw. He was always Mr. SmackDown. Seth was always Mr. Raw, and he's on SmackDown. Kevin Owens.
Oh my God! Hang on. This is Seth doing his Messiah gimmick.
Yeah.
And he sells it. Oh my God! That's actually a funny spot.
No, I don't mind it.
I like that spot.
That's the only really good memorable thing that comes out.
I remember that's what I remember. That.
And
spot.
I think Corbin lasts a while, if I'm not mistaken. It is just pure end of the line of this brand warfare stuff, rubbish, and you've got no fans to even watch it.
It sucks.
It's really bad, and I kind of just picked this as a whole pick of Raw versus SmackDown just being dreadful. There's one more in here.
I think we might have the same one when it turns up. I'm intrigued. Sam, I have old ones on here. But they're old ones for hatred, not because I'm old and they don't know how to do it. It's like, no, these are bad. But I'll pick this one. It's the one you won't expect because it just shows an example of don't do this. It doesn't work. and it makes no sense. In 1990, do you know how Survivor Series worked?
Not entirely.
They had only Survivor Series matches.
Right.
Okay? But the survivors entered at the end in the main event in a Survivor Series match.
Okay.
Well, first thing you have to ask your question is, how do you know what team you're going to be on?
Yeah.
So
and how do you know how many survivors there's going to be? There could be, in theory, like if you do a clean washout every time, like 50 survivors.
And they did on one of the matches. So there's actually one team. So I'm not asking me the papers because it doesn't matter. But on this, I will say the babyface team because obviously babyfaces win. Who do you think are the survivors on the babyface team here? At the end of the match because they win the match. It's Tito Santana, Hulk Hogan, and the Ultimate Warrior. Who do you think survives?
Well, it's going to be Tito, isn't it? Somehow
He runs the gauntlet. Tito.
Absolutely.
Tito's the only one out for the babyface team. Hogan and Ultimate Warrior completely dismantle. I think it's 5-on-3. So already it's lopsided. How they got down to there, I don't know. The match is the most obvious pointless match ever because you're like, it doesn't. Again, you got to the winners match and it didn't matter. And then, and here's the funny thing: Ultimate Warrior's getting the final pin. Hogan comes in and counts with the referee, looking like a mark.
He just has to be involved.
Yeah, I know. And as much as it's kind of a cool idea of having a winners match, because it doesn't lead to anything like a title match or a title shot, because Hogan is the champion at the time, of course. And the fact he's like, how do you know who goes where?
Yeah.
And they didn't even explain. They just went. Essentially, they just went. Here's the good guys. Here's the bad guys. And remember, kayfabe is still strong. This match is a mess from a kayfabe perspective. And the fact that you watch it and you go, can we just get to Hogan and Warrior beating everyone?
Well,
and because it's the second match that they've all had, they rush through it.
Well, you also take the heels that have just gotten a win and then just completely bury them after that because 5 of them have lost to 3 guys. And
two guys. Tito went out really fast.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
so
it's
then
worse.
it's like, well, you've just kind of wasted that, the fact that you've given them a win.
You've literally buried them. It's really bad, and I hate the idea. Sam, your number 4.
Sam, I'm just going to read out a lineup to you.
I know what's coming.
And just listen to the star-studded names that we are getting.
Is Brodus Clay in this?
I believe this is 2012, Sam. So, just hear me out.
I'm listening.
Rey Mysterio.
Good
So we
start.
start well.
Strong.
Prepare to have a downhill incline. Put it this way, you're not going to have to bring the clutch up. You're just going to go drift downhill very quickly.
Into neutral.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we have Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
Sin Cara.
Yeah.
And a little bit better Tyson Kidd, but still not great.
No.
Then their opponents, Sam.
Yeah.
It's your favourite tag team. It's the PTP. It's the Primetime Players.
Tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars. And then we have another great tag team for this area. It's Primo and Epico. And then to round it all off in a nice big bow, a Japanese bow, it's Tensai. It's your 5th man on the team.
I actually remember this match.
The fact that this match exists,
you know, we did
and poor Rey Mysterio.
Looking around going, I had a world title match at WrestleMania.
I won the Royal Rumble.
I took on The Undertaker at the Royal Rumble. And now I'm with Tensai and Epico.
It's a sad state of affairs.
When I talked about pointless throwing together Survivor Series matches in our Lockbox series, if you haven't gone and watched it, go watch that. This is what I meant.
This is the epitome of 2012 absolute dross.
Yeah.
Just rubbish.
No stars.
Undercut. No, and I don't even mind, like, lack of stars is one thing. But even now, I think when we have, like, we do take for granted sometimes the technical in-ring work of what we have now. Mm-hmm. In terms of the nobodies now, they could still cultivate a much better match than what we have here. It's not good. Team Brodus does win in the end, yes.
Fantastic.
For what that's worth.
Of course, yes.
Of course, it's an incredibly meaningful match.
He's an arsehole in real life.
What, Brodus? Yeah. I don't know him personally.
He's an arsehole.
I'm not a fan of the Funkasaurus.
Yeah.
It's shocking, Sam, and I want to move on immediately.
I can make it more shocking.
Go on.
How about Total Divas versus the Divas?
This might be on my list.
I knew it would be on your list. Mine's quite low. You'd be surprised. You think, maybe that should be high. I have much more hatred for these other 3 coming up. This match, Sam, I'll let you do a lot of the talking with it. However, lasts, I think, 11 minutes. And people are eliminated via one-legged dropkick. It is a joke. There is 3 workers in this match, and they work 90% of it, and everyone else, when they get in, gets eliminated.
Natalia, and Naomi are the
Theirs
ones.
are the 3 who can work.
Yeah.
This match is a joke.
Why do you want to go through the lineup, Sam?
Go on then, have you got it?
I've got it in memory. I don't got it on my notes, but you've got
well, everyone from Total Divas, so it's
you've got Alicia Fox,
Alicia
and then you've got
Fox,
the Bellas,
Bellas, yeah.
And then you've who else have you got?
I think AJ Lee's in this, isn't she?
No, she's not. She's not. Otherwise,
Mickey?
I'd make it much better.
Mickey's
Mickey's not.
No, she's not in either.
She
See what I
gets
mean?
to do it.
I don't care.
It's really bland. But no, Summer Rae.
Cameron, Summer Rae.
Summer Rae's in there. Yeah, Cameron's in there.
Oh,
just all of those kind of people.
Yeah, and
awful.
It's a joke. It's actually this match is where Give Divas a Chance in my eyes came from. Not because it was they need more time, but they had 11 minutes and there was 7 on 7 as well. They eliminated 13 people in 11 minutes. It's more the fact that they were like, none of these people know how to wrestle. So when I hear Give Divas a Chance, at first it was giving them more time. For me, it was hire some women wrestlers, man.
Train them.
We are now done with this. Let's get some women wrestlers. I hated this match. I hated Total Divas. I know it was successful. I know people really got into wrestling via it. So technically it did its job. And it helped the Bellas out. And it made the Bellas actually have a bit more of a voice. And they were to be able to really help the women's wrestling. I don't think people realize how much they actually helped women's wrestling.
Doesn't justify this abomination.
But this is an abomination of match and you can talk about it later. Sam, what is your bronze medal position?
I've got the Usos, but not the good version of the Usos, the Hacker Usos.
Hacker Usos.
Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Kalisto and Sin Cara.
Yeah.
He's back. And Ryback.
Oh, yes.
Against the League of Nations and New Day, Sam.
I remember this match.
This is 2015.
I remember
it's
this match.
It's bad. Team Usos win.
Do you want to know why it's bad?
Go on.
Sheamus cashes in that night.
Yeah.
He loses in this match. He's in a throwaway to a throwaway of a tag team Survivor Series match. That is who ends the night as your WWE champion. In a throwaway
really
of throwaways.
Awful. In a bad Survivor Series pay-per-view. In a bad time. It really, really sucks. I don't know what else I can say about it, because there's just something about this era. We just went for a few years. You know what? We don't have to try and do things. We'll just throw some absolute dross out there and people will still watch. And we just went, let's not do any creative things. Let's not try. And we paid the price for that in the late 2020s because we created no new stars. I say we. They created, I would have created new stars. They created no new stars at all. And this is just that, back in the Attitude Era, this match would have been, if you people with a good few gimmicks who were quite over, and it wouldn't have lasted too long, but you'd have had people who got crowd reactions. This is awful. The New Day, the only good part of this, but I think they went out quite quickly anyway.
They did, yes.
So it's just awfulness, that.
It's, again, an example of boring and long. And that's what hurt this match. It wasn't the fact there's like these 10 lads doing nothing who are nowhere at this point. It was more the fact that it just wouldn't pissing end. And then you look at the Survivor Series like tournament for the WWE. The matches were like 9 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think you've got this the wrong way around, lads.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
It's a proper good tournament.
But Sam, I'm now into actual bad matches.
Go on.
Beforehand, you can get rage-inducing. Number 3 I've got is Doink and his dwarves versus Lawler and his dwarves. This match, Sam, is one of the worst matches in wrestling history.
The only reason it's not on there because I've heard of it, and when I was doing research for this, I'd seen it, and I'm like, I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about it.
Sam,
it should be on there.
First of all, it makes no sense from a kayfabe perspective, because here's the rules. Lawler can only fight Doink, and the dwarves can only fight the dwarves. Meaning, when Lawler pinned Doink as the first elimination in the match is over. It's over. You can't.
Because surely, the dwarves can eliminate the dwarves, but then surely there might be like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The match is over.
Dwarves against Lawler.
It can't finish. You've ended the match.
How did they do it?
Well, the Lawler's guys just steamrolled all the dwarves, and that was it, and they won. Okay. And it's like Lawler's dwarves were like cheesy and all queasy and all these guys. And the reason I have a problem with this is because he's not a dwarf wrestler. Like, if you actually watched dwarf wrestling in the mid '90s, when it was probably actually its most popular, and you watched it properly, it was incredible. Because, and again, this is why I want women wrestling to not wrestle like men. Because like, you guys can do things that the men can't do. Don't wrestle like them. Wrestle your style, and guess what? You'll get way more over by doing it. Dwarves were the exact same because they could do things that no one else could do, and it looked cool. Them jumping off the top rope, doing a simple move, looked way more exciting because of what it was. But dwarves in WWE are treated like they're children.
Yeah.
They have to be children. They have to be silly or dumb. Or, as I said, children. And this is what this was. And, oh my God, this match is an abomination on a pay-per-view that's really bad. And this was just the worst. Just the worst. Lawler has sadly gone from being a brilliant heel to now working this crappy gimmicks. And sadly, it's not the last time I'm going to talk about something to do with Doink. Sam, your silver medal position.
My silver medal is SmackDown vs. Raw 2017. Sam.
My silver medal position is also SmackDown vs. Raw 2017.
How bad is this match? You know what it is about this match, Sam? It starts well. It's actually quite good at the start. You get to see Angle and Cena wrestling.
It's not studied. It's a great lineup of old and new, fresh stars. And you're looking at this going, I'm excited for these fresh stars. You've got Bobby Roode, who's only just come in, Nakamura, who's just come in, Braun Strowman, who's there. But you've also got the return of John Cena. Are you going to wear a SmackDown shirt? No, you're going to wear your merch. Everyone else is wearing Raw and SmackDown, even Triple H.
Just wearing yours.
Whatever, okay. But we've got Kurt Angle, we've got Triple H, Shane McMahon's in there as a little teamwork. You think, this is going to be exciting. And the first people they eliminate are all the young, fun stars. Balor, Nakamura, Roode, all eliminated first. And you're like, oh, screw that. Just putting them in the match is not enough to get them over.
No.
Now, you can do that with other things. You could put someone in the main event to get someone and have them lose. Fine. But when they do something for 2 minutes and then they're eliminated, they look like they suck.
Yeah, and then they gave Shane McMahon the Shawn Michaels spot of fighting from underneath, and he just looked knackered because he wasn't.
Because he's not wrestling. And they decided that the person who's going to fight from behind for SmackDown is going to be Shane McMahon. And what made it even more confusing is out of nowhere, for no reason whatsoever, Triple H just pedigrees Kurt Angle to eliminate him. And then they beat Shane. And then setting up what looks to be Braun versus Triple H, because Braun slams him to it. And this is the end of the pay-per-view. Is this the last match of the night?
All that Braun does is because he's like angry and doesn't trust anyone, he kind of just gets Triple H by the scruff and then Triple H goes, "Rrr." That's the end of the pay-per-view, and we never see anything between those two ever again.
And also Cena does nothing. He comes back, he literally is on the apron, gets in, does a couple of moves, and then gets eliminated immediately. So literally it's the easiest payday for him. He literally went, I'll appear for you, but I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Honest to God, this match, is it the worst Survivor Series match? No. It actually isn't. There's much worse, and we probably mentioned much worse or boringer. This is rage-inducing.
But for what it should have been, this could be one of the worst booked matches of all time, considering what you had
and what you
did with it was arguably like the worst thing you could have done. You had 3/4 of the final four be Triple H, Shane, and Kurt Angle in 2017. We have Triple H shenanigans burying people left, right, and centre in 2017.
It was
sad state of affairs.
This match genuinely is one of the most angered I'd ever been watching match. And again, I was already struggling with 2017. Anyway,
2017 had been awful.
Jinder being champion and all that jazz. Did AJ Brock, did that actually main event?
That was 2017.
Did that main event or did that not?
No, I think this main event.
I have a feeling this main evented. Wrong. Wrongly done, and genuinely makes me really angry. However, my number one actually makes me more angry. Not for booking purposes, just the fact that I had to sit down and watch the goddamn thing. Sam, what's your number one before I talk about my rage-inducing number one?
I've gone with Total Divas versus Team.
Yeah,
WWE.
I thought so.
It just offends me. I just hate how bad this is. Also, another person I just remembered was in there. Tamina
was also in there.
She's also in there, just to add to that.
Yes.
Just god awful. We kind of talked about it. No, just don't even joke about it, Sam. It was awful.
Botchamania didn't know what to do. Shout out to Matthew, follows me on Blue Sky. Lovely bloke.
But he may as well just aired the match in its entirety.
He pretty much did.
Awful.
It's just botches after botches after botches, and you just sit there, you've got Paige in there going, I can wrestle, man.
Yeah.
I actually know
Emma's in there, you know?
Emma, who got eliminated really quickly. It's just, Sam, you're right. Don't get me wrong. This is probably one of the worst actually constructed matches. However, if you grew up a little bit earlier and you actually saw older matches, or you went back and watched older matches, this one I'm pretty certain will be on a lot of people's lists. So the rivalry was Doink versus Bigelow and his team, and I'll get the names because I actually do have a few of the names, and there's another reason I hate this. And essentially, Doink goes, you're going to take on me and my other partner, also me, and me again, and me. So he's got like doinks in different things, and they're doing little gimmicks with like dropping like glitter and catching it in a bucket underneath each other. It's really beautifully done for Kevin Dunn in 1993.
Sure.
And it's really funny to think, so how is Doink going to do this? 4 different doinks or whatever. How are they going to do it? So before I get to the doinks, let's talk about who is on Bam Bam Bigelow's team. And let's remember, it's 1993. We're not far away from WrestleMania 11, where Bam Bam Bigelow is in the main event. His partners are the Head Shrinkers. So already this outdated kind of offensive gimmick. And Bastion Booger, as you know, my least favourite wrestler of all time from a gimmick perspective. I find it disgusting. I don't want to look at it. They essentially gave him this gimmick because he was too fat. And they went, there you go, now you're a slob. And he was like, great, I get to eat food all day. I hate that gimmick. So why is it such a problem? Sam, Doink got fired during this.
Right.
They actually got released. He actually disappeared and was replaced by Ray Apollo. So who were the 4 Doinks? Oh, it was Men on a Mission and the Bushwhackers dressed in Doink makeup.
Oh, no.
So
Bad.
These 4 dickheads came out in Doink clothes, in their normal music, Doink makeup, and by the point, this is 1993 Bushwhackers, so they are a joke at this point. Men on a Mission, as we famously have mocked them a lot, are not good. They clean sweep them, Sam. But they don't just clean sweep them, they clean sweep them with comedy. One of the head shrinkers slips on a banana and gets pinned.
Wait, so you mean the Team Doink win?
4-zip.
Holy.
One of them has a water balloon, bites it and gets, oh my god, it's water, and gets pinned. Then they literally defeat, Mo gets on a scooter and starts scooting around the ring. He's not the legal man.
Right.
He's just scooting around the ring, looking like an absolute tit, just having the time of his life. But everyone's going, what are you doing? And via that distraction, they were able to pin the opponent. This, genuinely, is one of the worst matches in wrestling history. When I talked to you about the ANA, when we did the ANA, I said that one of the worst matches ever happens at Survivor Series. This is one I'm on about. This is an abomination of a build that wasn't great anyway, but you think, oh, what are they going to do with the Doinks thing? And I could have put other ones. They had the Hearts versus Shawn Michaels and his Knights, and it was meant to be Jerry Lawler, but Jerry Lawler was indicted on some sort of very bad claims about young underage people. But that match was actually very good because of the Brett and Owen storyline, but the match is boring and terrible. But this, Sam, if you sat down and watched it, and I'm going to force you to do it one day.
No, you're not.
Oh, I am. If I've had to endure it, you're going to have to endure it. We're definitely going to do WWE in 1993. Deal with it. This, honestly, is an embarrassment, and everyone should have been ashamed that this went, and that somebody has paid money for this, either in the crowd or at home on pay-per-view.
Wow.
That's how angry this makes me, that I sat down to watch this going, I'm going to watch some older wrestling, Survivor Series 1993. That's interesting. We've got, what's the Brett and Owen thing? How do we get to WrestleMania 10? Yokozuna, Lex Luger. How do we get there? That sounds quite interesting. And I sat and watched this.
Wow.
And I was very grumpy.
That is insane. That's
eliminated by banana.
How did Bigelow get eliminated?
He was the last one out, and I've completely forgotten. No, shoot, I know there was a dog pile to eliminate him. All 4 got on top, and they did it so badly that they fell off the dog pile. Wow. So I've generally forgotten how he actually loses the match. My brain can't give me.
It's mad to think that at the same time this is happening, ECW was just there
doing whatever
ECW things.
No wonder people. Well, they dropped the belt in it. I think they became ECW in '93. So that's my worst. And Sam has no idea about it. I don't even think he knows it exists.
Well, I kind of saw it in looking up and researching stuff for this video, but I'm like, if I have not seen it, then I can't.
You're going to.
No.
You're going to. Because, Sam, I want to hurt you.
You really do.
I do.
This has become apparent, actually, in the list you made me do.
Oh, I'm going to make you watch this match. But that is our traditional Survivor Series list, our favourites and our worst. What are yours? We want to hear your best and your worst. Please let us know it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you again for another count-out video next time. Bye-bye.